Hello everybody, my name is Isaac Herndon, and today I'm going to be giving a leadership analysis presentation over one of the greatest CEOs in the film industry, Robert Iger. Robert Iger joined Disney as the CEO in 2005 and ended up working for about 15 years until about 2020, and when he was eventually replaced by Bob Chapek. After a short, rough time, Disney ended up hiring back Robert Iger in 2022. We can see throughout his tenure he was able to expand the Disney films by acquiring Lucasfilms and Marvel, and he also expanded the Disney parks by adding Pandora, which is an Avatar area, and he added a Star Wars area as well. And you can find this on the Disney page website for Robert Iger. The first thing we're going to look at is his visions, and his visions include expanding the Disney movie studios, expanding the Disney parks, and promoting diversity. So first, we're going to evaluate his communication through those visions. So first, we will look at his book, The Ride of a Lifetime. In this book, we can see that he had a few different principles that helped him communicate effectively as a leader. In this book, he had 10 different principles, and we will be looking at 3. These 3 include optimism, courage, and focus. So we can see when expanding the film industry, he communicated these 3 principles by his actions. And you know what a lot of people say? They say actions speak louder than words. So by acquiring Marvel Studios and Disney Studios, he was able to communicate that he meant business, and he was able to communicate his courage and his optimism that those film studios were going to do well, and then his laser focus of just overall acquiring those film industries. And we can find this information on the cited source from Brita. Based off of the website Inside the Magic, we can see some social issues that he was trying to communicate that ended up not going so well. Like stated earlier, social issues and promoting diversity is one of his biggest visions. So in 2023, there was a law passed in Florida that they would call the Don't Say Gay law. And Robert Iger had an issue with this. So he ended up being very vocal about his opposition against this bill, which ultimately led to a legal battle against Disney and Florida. Overall, a lot of people say that this was not a good look for Disney, and they should have just kept his mouth shut. They have continued to lose money, and right now are fighting a land dispute. So it's safe to say in this particular case, expressing the vision ended up hurting him rather than helping him. Next, we will look at the experimentations and some of the different movies. So Iger experimented by pushing his values once again, and his specifically the LGBTQ values, and the movie Buzz Lightyear. In this movie, there is a same-sex kiss, which a lot of people praised, but a lot of people also didn't like, and people ended up actually boycotting the movies. So the movie did not make that much money. And he continued to do this experimentation in the future by trying to add diversity and push his values through the film industry. And we can see this by Robert. Next, we will take a look at the leadership models found in the textbook. First off, we can see that he displays the narrative leadership by always telling his vision and showing his vision through his stories. So one way he does this, for example, was the Buzz Lightyear film. In this film, he was able to show his values through the story he was trying to tell through the film. And we can see this with several different films as well. He's always trying to promote his visions, and it's easy to see that whether it's Lightyear or any of the new movies that have recently been released. Next, we have transformational leadership. Transformational leaders are more connected with the collective interest of the organization rather than their own self-interest. And we can see this with him trying to constantly be better and push diversity. He wants to put everybody else in front of himself. We can see this also through the principles that he displays in his book that we mentioned earlier. Next, we can see his commitment through building his vision just by the way he's continued to push his visions, whether he receives adversity or not. Even in the face of adversity and possibly losing money, he has continued to push his values, which in my opinion is a great thing that a leader should do. He's not stepping down, he's continued to do what he believes. And he has also committed to expanding the amusement parks year after year, and he has stayed committed to working on the film industry, even though it's been suffering for about the past 3 years. In conclusion, some critics say that Iger hasn't done a good job. And while some people may say that due to Disney's low ratings over the past few years, he also came into a struggling company and is kind of trying to pick up the pieces. But it's safe to say before that, he helped expand Disney tremendously. He was able to expand the film industry, helped lead social issues, expanded the parks. A lot of the cool things that we see with Disney today are due to Robert Iger's leadership. And there's a reason that he is one of the most well-known businessmen today and is a household name. And his success partly has to do with the implementation of his visions. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my presentation. Here's my works cited for the information of this presentation. I thank you for listening, and I hope you have a great day.